Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the course. We're almost halfway done at this point. It's hard to believe. Today, I'm filming this video on Tuesday, May 29th. I have several days until the midterm portfolio is due. So it's my job today to sort of explain what the midterm portfolio is, what kind of document it looks like, what's the process of going about it. To start off, I will say this: midterm portfolio, it's the only point in the course where you get sort of a gauge on how you're doing grade wise. And a course like this, it's often frustrating. I often ask, what's my grade? Not getting a grade on the paper. How am I being assessed? So the midterm portfolio this week is designed to help give you that. Do better if you need improvements, anything of that nature. And it'll also be a document where I show you all the graded work that you've done so far, including like the homework assignments. I did send you guys back the topic proposal. The logical fallacies quiz that we're going to take will be part of this. Another discussion board post tomorrow, or I think maybe Thursday, where you talk about time in your life where you have used a logical fallacy. That'll happen. So we'll have that one, proposal, 2 quiz grades, take the logical fallacies quiz. I might count another discussion board. The discussion board posts I'm often used for participation, attendance. You'll get a report back from me on that. At the moment, I've been busy grading the papers. I haven't gotten a chance to my attendance records and all that up to par. I'm going to do that this week though, so you can expect an email from me then. Course business aside then, I just finished reading the first papers not long ago. Guys gave me one of the best group of papers I've read when I've given this assignment. Might be the top class that I've ever taught given this assignment. Guys mostly knocked paper out of the ballpark. Most part, I had very few complaints to give. That's a wonderful thing. So, usually with this first paper, the complaints that what sometimes happens is sometimes don't have a good enough thesis statement, leads to an overabundance of summary. I think there's probably only 1 or 2 of you that might have a problem that's that deep. Rest of the class, for the most part, had a great thesis, a good summary, good examples. Oftentimes, the examples needed developed further, or there was maybe a couple of examples in the paper, but you didn't use an example for all of your points. So that's kind of the common revision strategies I noticed. Introductions and conclusions. A lot of you guys had really good introductions. I think due in part to our introduction workshop. Conclusions often left a little to be desired. Try to do something more than doing the simple summary conclusion. Like we discussed before, there's lots of things you can do in conclusion. I don't have it right on hand when I'm filming the video, but I'm actually going to post a document to eCampus called a revision packet. In the revision packet, you'll see lots of nice little pieces of advice on how to revise intros, conclusions, topic sentences, things of that nature. Take a look at that on time. The chapter in joining academic conversations on portfolio will also be a course for you at this on your own time. I don't have the book right on hand. I'm in California, but take a look through that book. I don't reference it a lot, but take a look through that book because it'll show you how to do a portfolio. Give you some advice on how to do so. Now then, let's go over the prompt for the midterm. So as you see from the prompt, one Microsoft Word document, save it as a Word document. Using Pages, save it as a Word document on Pages. So don't save it as a PDF. I can't grade it. I can't mark on it. It's one Microsoft Word document. Lots of times people submit it as two documents. I want it as one, so copy and paste both the things then that you need. So you need the following two items. Portfolio. First one's the cover memo. Cover memo. For this first paper, the cover memo page won't be that long, because you've only revised one paper in the four that we're going to revise, that we're going to do in the whole course. So one of the four papers is what's counting in your midterm. But it can be a thorough document. First, you explain a small chunk of history of where you stood before started writing wise. What kinds of writing have you done in your previous courses? Maybe fun, personal writing. Tell me the kinds of writing you've done. Most important part of this, discuss the revision process you've taken from start to finish on paper one by using specific examples from your own work. So to explain this, cover memo sheet, basically outline out all of the major changes in your paper. Say you changed your thesis statement. That's how you did that. Added topic sentences after that. I added examples after that. Whatever it is that you've changed, you want to draw my attention to a cover memo. So when I first start reading your portfolio, I'll look at the cover memo first, then I'll sort of skim down through the paper to see what it is changed. So it's up to you. The ball is in your court to discuss the changes you've made. Let's say, for instance, you've made changes, kind of are lazy about it in the cover memo. Well, I'm not going to see those changes because I don't read the papers extremely thoroughly the second time. I look through them, of course, but I mostly look at the cover sheet first. I ask myself, well, what has this person done to make the paper better? Then at the end of the cover sheet, analyze your strengths and your weaknesses so far as you perceive them as a writer. What skills do you continue to keep developing throughout the course? You don't have to just talk about paper one here. If you had some problems doing the annotated bibliography, you can discuss that. Whatever you feel good about, whatever you have some doubts about, address it here. Good. That gives me some good data how to proceed further. Of course. That's the cover sheet. That'll probably be anywhere from half a page to a page, depending on how many revisions you do. Some of you guys really knocked it out of the park. You won't have to do a lot of revisions at all, so that's perfectly fine. Your cover sheet will be a little shorter. If you had to do a lot of revisions, the cover sheet will be a little longer. That's just part of the process. Like I said, they usually turn out about half a page to a page, even if you didn't have to do a lot of revisions. A and C, that'll probably take up a paragraph. But then, after the cover sheet, you then include your revised paper one. Let me make this explicitly clear. And despite the fact that you're doing a cover memo, you also need to show me where in the paper you have made changes. Not only should you show me where you've made changes, but it's up to you to tell me what change you made. So in the same way that I grade papers, in the same way that I grade your papers by adding comments in to the side margins, you guys will show me where it is that you've changed. So I'm using Microsoft Word on a Mac instead of a PC. Let's say, for instance, that you wanted to show me that you've added a new thesis document. You would highlight over whatever it is you want to draw my attention to, go up, click, hit my face. Go up to the top and click review, add a comment, click added a new thesis. A PC, I use Mac and PC interchangeably. Using a PC, it's pretty much the same thing. I think instead of review, click insert comment. Otherwise, same exact process. Microsoft makes Word better on PC than a Mac for obvious reasons, so they stick the buttons in different places. Show me not only describe your revisions in your cover memo sheet, but also show me where it is that you've made major changes to the paper. You added a detail, you had to change something really big, you added more analysis, changed up your conclusion or your intro. No matter what the case might be, show me the changes you've made. Because the way that I grade these, I'll read the cover sheet, then I'll sort of skim down, see what you've changed. Now, I usually use 2 screens, so I also have the first round of comments pulled up, see what it is I asked you to change. So I'll compare the documents side by side. So show me, it's up to you, show me what you've done. You know, so the way that I grade then, usually it's holistic. So I'll count, well, how well was did the paper look the first time? Did this person do a lot of good revisions to make the paper even better? Let's say you only submitted a 2-page paper the first time, then you knock it out with your revisions. I still take into account you only did a 2-page paper the first time. I don't think anybody in this class is in that boat, which is good. But note that if your paper struggled the first time, you made it better, and that's improvement, but that still doesn't necessarily correlate to A writing. Now, I will say this too, midterm portfolio is usually the grades are a little lower compared to the final portfolios. You know, it's a little secret, but we do this, you know, to sort of keep interest going through the course, keep you motivated. You know, if you do get an A in the midterm portfolio, that's great. However, just know the only place to go from there is down as far as grades go. You have to sort of fight to stay the same in the upcoming papers. And so usually if you get a B on the midterm, usually you're doing well. You can, if you have a C even on the midterm, I've had people go from C to A before. And it's just kind of a nice kick in the pants to show you that you need to do more substantial revisions. And so that's pretty much the process. In one document, in the cover sheet, the revised paper 1, where you add the comment bubbles in showing me the changes. You do need, if you only change something like maybe you add a comma, or you put a semicolon in to fix a comma splice, or you fix the typo, those little changes perfectly fine. You just highlight what it is you've changed in yellow. Okay? But if it's a big change, adding, deleting, whatever the case might be, then up to you. Comments to show me. The deadline, since I was a day later grading your first papers than I would have liked, it's been a busy very busy trip for me going to this conference, but giving you an extra day in return to the midterm portfolio. So I'm scroll down. Give me just a sec. So originally, I think it was due Friday night. I'm going to give you until Sunday morning by noon, to submit these. I will then grade them and get grades back to you on Tuesday of next week for the course. And so that's the process. That's the timeline. If any of you guys have any questions about any of the comments that I gave you on the first paper, let me know. I'll be more than happy to address them. Also, again, I'll remind you, look at the packet, the midterm revision packet I'll upload to eCampus. It'll be helpful advice. That said, signing off for the next video, logical fallacy.